All right, what's going on, guys? So, it is a full day of eating for you guys, and I'm 6 weeks out from my national qualifying show. So, so freaking excited. Now, this is the day after I got back from the Detroit Pro. So, I'm going to talk about that because the Detroit Pro, you guys, was amazing. Ran so smoothly. I'll talk about that later. But I checked in with my coach this morning. And ever since last week, last week was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, cardio pull and refeeds on all those days. And then my steps were cut in half. And then on Monday, I checked in again. I was checking in with my coach, each of the mornings after my refeeds. And then Monday last week, I had another refeed plus on top of that, replaced my last meal at the end of the night with a bunch of sushi. And that did me really well. So, and then last week I left for Detroit Pros in Detroit for 3 or 4 days. Got back yesterday after a 6-hour road trip. And then ended up doing check-ins right when I got back around like 6 p.m. And then head to the gym, had to get all my steps in. Cardio was already done when I left Detroit. And then I sent my coach a video last night, post-workout posing. And I was definitely flat, but looked wild. For what happened, my body has responded so well this entire prep. But within the past 2 weeks, I'd say I got significantly leaner. And I feel it. Like feeling it in a good way, though. And the visuals are there, too. So kind of like a mind fuck on prep because throughout the entire prep, I started prep I think at like 250, and I was getting leaner as my weight was going up, and I'm used to when I'm prepping, my visuals are improving and my weight is coming down, and there's gonna be weight fluctuations, ups and downs, just like every prep. But it was wild because just seeing that my weight be having very minimal fluctuations, but visually getting leaner, in your mind, you're thinking like, yo, why is my weight not changing? But that's not a bad thing. Like I'm literally growing into this show and my measurements, are going up, besides my waist measurements, above my belly button, across my belly button, and below my belly button, those are all going down. So I can't complain there at all. I haven't had many food manipulations at all this prep. My cardio is still at 400 cardio calories 5 times per week. I prefer either an elliptical or the inclined treadmill in the morning when I'm doing it fasted. I like starting my day fasted. I like how focused I am, and I'm a morning person. I get very focused in the morning. Yeah, cardio was pulled today, and today is going to be a refeed. So I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of food today, what I'm eating at 6 weeks out. But checked in with my coach this morning, and he was like, yeah, bro, we're definitely going to run the refeed again. He adjusted it, bumped up food more. I'm looking wild today. So here's my front and back pose. I'll throw those up right there from this morning, the 16th. And I got a really good sleep last night too, just, from being gone, traveling, busy with Detroit Pro, meeting all you guys. It was a freaking awesome time there. But what I do first thing in the morning before breakfast is I'm going to mix up my EAAs because after this, I'm going to go out on just a brief walk, get some sunshine. I already checked in with my coach this morning. It is 7 a.m. right now. So I'm going to wake up, get my EAAs in. So I have I think this is like a half-gallon hydro jug. I think it's got to be a half gallon. So I do 2 scoops of good old Silo 9. This is the blueberry lemonade. Freaking love this flavor. So I already have a scoop in here because I drank like half of it and I had to add more water. And so I'm going to put another scoop in there. And then I'm going to get my coffee going. So I don't start the day with coffee right off the bat. Okay. I've been up for about 45 minutes. I want to stimulate my body with activity and sunshine. So even though cardio's pulled today, I'm going to go on a short walk because my steps are cut in half from 10,000. So now I'm going to be hitting around that 5,000 to 6,000 range. So it's kind of hard for me to cut my steps in half because I like being active and I like moving, but especially too eating so much food, even not on my refeed day. Like my baseline days are 3,400 calories. I'm dieting on 3,400 calories plus my deficit from my activity and my daily energy expenditure. But I like moving. I like to keep that food moving because I like to have a little bit of hunger going into my next meal. That's how I like to start my day, stimulating my day through sunshine, activity, learning something by listening to a podcast when I'm on my walks in the morning as well. But I'm going to show you guys what I do for my coffee as well, okay? So I'm going to mix my coffee up now and put this in the freezer. I got it in the HOSSTILE ice shaker. You can get these on the website. So I have my coffee in here with my ice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my greens. So I have my greens in here from when I'm traveling. These are our HOSSTILE like keychain funnel things. I like them. They're freaking awesome. I use it all the time for protein, for pre-workout, for carbs, for greens powder, especially when I'm traveling. So I have a full scoop of greens in here, chocolate greens. Come on, see if I can get it all out. I think I got it all out. Greens powder in the coffee with the ice. Now, I'm gonna take this wonderful stuff right here. See this? Okay. This is what flavor is this? Cinnamon roll. Per serving for 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters. You got 15 calories, 1 gram of fat, 1 gram of carbs, 0 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar. This stuff tastes awesome. Like I could drink this shit all day. I don't advise that because you would have a fucked up gut and some terrible digestive issues. So I'm gonna do about a serving here. Good. That's just add a little bit of that sweetness. I would notice with this creamer, I don't get a whole lot of GI issues at all because if I'm using a whole lot of, artificial sweeteners throughout the day, this is just me, okay? I tend to get a lot of gut inflammation. I get a lot of gas. My digestion is just off and I don't like it, and especially on prep. Digestion needs to be on, okay? So there's something like this, super simple, low calories. I'll have one serving of this a day, 15 calories. Just helps sweeten up the coffee a little bit with a dark roast coffee with my greens and a cinnamon roll flavor. It is banging. It's awesome. So I'm gonna go on my walk, but I want to talk about the Detroit Pro. Detroit Pro, you guys, was ran so well. I mean, talk about professionalism for both the amateur show and the pro show. I was sitting right behind Tyler Mannion, and the lighting and the black backdrop was amazing. I think it should be a standard within the industry for, local shows, national shows, and for pro shows. I get it that, some of the bigger shows especially have, dozens of sponsors that are, paying for advertising there and supporting the show. So they want those backdrops to be shown sometimes because that's where the sponsors' logos are and stuff like that. But I think even, with a lot of shows that even have a lot of sponsors, I think there can be like banners on the sides of the stage or above the stage, okay, and still have that black backdrop, because being so close to the stage, and even when I sat down by a friend, that was sitting midway up in the auditorium, I could still see the detail of the athletes so much better. Like, you don't really notice how much of a difference the black backdrop makes for the visuals of the athlete and the lighting until you're really there in person, to be honest. And it was the world of a difference. Like, I could see so much detail even far back. When I was watching Good Vito and Martin, when I was sitting right behind Tyler Mannion, like, I was blown away at how clearly I could see their physiques. The lighting was on point. This lighting was some of the best lighting I've ever seen at a show, even at national shows. But overall, it was ran so well. I mean, the audience, especially at finals, it was packed. The meet and greet was freaking awesome. And overall, just a great experience. The level of athletes there too, like even for the amateur show guys, like I'm telling you, the amateur show blew me away for the classic competitors and the open competitors. Like, there were some high level athletes here, high level amateur athletes that came and showed the fuck up. And it was really good to see that. Because on top of that, it could have been a lot of people's first show and the first ever Detroit Pro and amateur show. There's a lot of great shows in the Midwest, and I've been to a lot of great shows across the United States for athletes of mine. And this one, the Detroit Pro, definitely is within the top 5 of the shows that I'd say are national quality, pro quality that I've been to. Definitely such a great experience. So I can't even imagine the athlete experience as well. And we had backstage passes. I forgot to take mine off. So HOSSTILE gave us backstage passes, and how they treated the athletes back there was A1. Like, I felt like I was on an upper echelon, just standing there, being a bystander, being in the role of a fan. It was just really cool to see how well the athletes were treated. And just, it was a great experience. So shout out Martin Fitzwater. Dude freaking killed it. It was absolutely insane how much of a difference his thickness in his back was, just like being there in person. Good Vito. I think this is the best Good Vito we've ever seen as well. But man, Martin came back for the night show looking absolutely insane. And I believe I saw the scorecards, I think, or I watched a video on them, and it was a 1-point show. And we haven't seen that in so long. So it was such a great show, and just being there in person really doesn't do pictures justice. I mean, it was freaking awesome that we had Gilco there, and Gilco was amazing with their videography and the photography. But man, everything and how the show was ran, the lighting, the backdrop, and how smoothly everything went, it gave the audience such a good experience, but also made sure the athletes were presenting their physique in the best way possible. So Detroit Pro, I'm definitely gonna be putting athletes in the Detroit Pro next year, but overall, freaking awesome time. Really proud of Fouad, Ben, and Paul for organizing and producing such an amazing show, and I can't wait to see that reach new heights. But anyway, I'm gonna go on this walk, and then I'll come back, take my health supplements, and then show you guys what I got for meal 1 for this refeed day. All right, so back from my walk, and I'm going to take my health supplements. So what I got here is I take these like probably a couple minutes before I eat breakfast, okay? I just want these kind of be broken down and getting the digestion process started with these first. So I have my kidney supplements right here. Nattokinase, vitamin C, turmeric, ashwagandha, zinc, digestive enzymes, and then 2 milk thistle, selenium, NAC, so 1,200 milligrams of NAC. On top of that, 4 capsules of a liver health supplement, 600 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, a lipid, so this helps with cholesterol in my blood lipid panel. Not that it's bad. I mean, all of these things are going to be just making sure health markers, organs are healthy. This is not just because I'm on prep. I take my health supplements year round when I'm not in prep, when I'm bulking, when I'm doing a mini cut, every single time, because it's my goal to make sure that my blood work has as little amount of skews or health markers that are going to be fluctuating as possible. This just helps keep everything in check and keep the internal health there. What is my cat doing? Hey, lipid supplement. All right, so that's the rundown. Health supplements are done. Just making sure everything's in check, taking these year round, being consistent with it. But now it's gonna be time for meal one. I'll show you guys what I got. All right, check me out. So this is meal one. We have 135 grams of cream of rice. This is the crackberry flavor from Flavor Gang. Love Flavor Gang. You guys know I do. I talk about it in my videos. Crackberry flavor. Gosh, it's freaking awesome. 100 grams of blueberries, 16 grams of Maranatha almond butter, 105 grams of chicken breast, and then 2 whole eggs. So protein is down a little bit on this refeed day because my food volume is higher, but also to kind of give my body a little bit of a break from digesting such high protein. Macros for this meal: 58 grams of protein, 126 grams of carbs, and then 22 grams of fat. Nothing too crazy at all. Gonna down this. I'm gonna start working on Tuesday client work with check-ins, and then show you guys what I got for meal two, pre-workout meal, and then I think I'm training back today, but I'm probably gonna save that for another video, and this video is just gonna be all about food, what I'm doing for my refeed and stuff like that. So super excited to get this meal in. I'm super hungry right now. I'll see you guys at meal two. All right, so coming up, we have our pre-workout meal. So pre-workout meal is going to be, let me just put this on my plate here. I like kind of, just because, I work from home, and I'm primarily either out on walks or I'm at the gym or I'm, in my apartment. I like eating from actual plates instead of Tupperware. I eat from Tupperware, quite often just with traveling and stuff. And I just like eating from a plate. And it kind of slows me down too, so I don't have to like shovel it in. Here, let me move this over here so y'all can see. I just bring my entire rice cooker thing right over here. Rice in here. I have enough because I didn't make any more. Okay, 350. There we go. 350 grams of rice. And then we got my turkey in here. We got 140 grams of 93.7 ground turkey. So I like, and I've mentioned this in the past before, I like having some fats in my pre-workout meal, you guys, okay? Because it slows down the digestion just enough for me. Not a crazy amount of fat, okay? But it slows down just enough so that I don't just soak up the carbs right away, and then when I'm training, I go flat halfway through the workout, okay? I don't want that. I also have for this meal, so 100 grams of banana. Now, I don't know what it is with people that they don't like eating bananas, even if it's like this brown, okay? But it tastes way better to me. It's way sweeter. So I go through bananas left and right. So I kind of get the bananas that are a little bit more brown at the store just because I go through them so often, and I hate eating bananas that are super green and just still kind of like half ripe. All right, 100 grams of banana. Now with this banana, I'm going to be having 25 grams of honey, but my honey is all kind of gelled up here, so I'm gonna be scooping it out. Bingo. 25 grams of just some quick sugars. I'd rather get this amount of carbs in from honey, where it's literally nothing, just extremely low volume, than adding in a little bit more carbs from the rice for my pre-workout meal. 350 grams of jasmine rice, 140 grams of 93.7 ground turkey, 100 grams of banana with 25 grams of honey in there. I'm gonna salt the hell out of this meal because I sweat a lot, but it's about an hour and a half before I'm about to go train. So I'm gonna down this and then probably go on, I can't go on a walk because steps are down, but I'm gonna do something at least around the house, probably sweep, clean up a little bit just to move, to get this food going through my system. Gonna be training back today, you guys. That's gonna be a separate video, and then I'm gonna see you guys at my post-workout meal. But after the workout, I'm gonna be going to go tour a house that I'm looking at, go check that out. So meal's gonna be a little bit later tonight, but post-workout meal is also one of my favorites. But this meal is savory, it's good, sweet with the salty, love it. This is the pre-workout meal. I also forgot to tell you guys the macros for this meal. 48 grams of protein, 142 grams of carbs, and 14 grams of fat. Loading this up with sodium for the pumps and also so I can stay hydrated while I'm training. So one of my favorite meals right here. Well, pretty much every meal is my favorite because I just enjoy eating what's on my plan. It's easier for me to stick to it that way. So if you enjoy what you're eating and then you enjoy how you're training, you enjoy the progression that you're making, it makes for a perfect formula for staying on plan, and not really having any thoughts of falling off. So especially on prep too, everything's got to be on the money on prep. We got post-workout meal. So post-workout meal is usually different for me than what I got showing you guys right here. So my post-workout meal is usually, it's going to be 182 grams of cod, 400 grams of rice, 50 grams of spinach, 100 grams of blueberries, okay? But I ran out of rice, so I'm matching those exact macros with cream of rice, blueberries, and I just which one. Okay, so right here we have 60 grams of ISOH1. This is cinnamon oatmeal cookie flavor. 135 grams of cream of rice. This is the lemon pound cake flavor from Flavor Gang, and oh, it's freaking good. Even adding in the blueberries with this lemon pound cake flavor tastes bonkers. I mean, it still tastes amazing. Like this lemon pound cake it tastes exactly like that. Like you're smashing your face into, like a lemon bar, a tray of lemon bars or something like that. Macros for this meal, 60 grams of protein, 125 grams of carbs, and 0.3 grams of fat, so literally zero fat. So that's what we got going on right now. This is currently meal 3, so I trained today off of 2 meals in me, and I usually do 2 or 3 meals, but since I didn't have rice made by the time I was about to go to the gym, I didn't have time to get my second meal in, but I'm going to eat my second meal after this one, and then I have another meal after that before bed. So this is the post-workout meal, super fast digesting. I want something just to absorb quick, not cause any GI distress, and this is a perfect combo to really have your body just uptake a bunch of nutrients, just uptake your carbs, proteins. You got the good sugars from the blueberries, antioxidants from blueberries, but yeah, and I also sweat a lot, so I did sprinkle some salt on top of this, and also salt brings out more of the sweet flavors of things. So yeah, this is the post-workout meal. Gonna down this. I'm gonna be hungry again in probably 30 minutes just because this gets digested like that, and then show you guys what I'm eating for the rest of the night. So yeah, that's what we got rolling with meal 3, post-workout meals so far for this full day of eating. All right, guys. So this is supposed to be in my meal 2 spot, but I was training off of 2 meals today. Didn't have time to get my second meal in or before my pre-workout meal. So right here, focus. Okay, we have 400 grams of rice, 154 grams of chicken, and then 100 grams of green beans, and 20 grams of Kerrygold organic grass-fed butter. Now you're probably asking, Nick, why the hell are you eating butter on prep? What the fuck? Like, what? That's so gross. First off, butter tastes freaking amazing. I'm lactose. This stuff, it sits well with me fine. It's only 20 grams of butter, but we have found out with just myself and how much fullness I hold, after refeeds and stuff that, my body burns through, olive oil or coconut oil. And this butter just helps things stick, it seems. It helps, weight stick. It helps, hold, it helps keep my intramuscular triglycerides full. And also it's just a super easy way to increase flavor, but also the monitored outcome and the desired effect is going to be, having more fullness tomorrow when I wake up, because my intramuscular triglycerides are more full. So this meal is a really good tasting meal, to be honest. I just mixed the butter in. It tastes good. It's not one of those things where butter is not a dieting food at all, okay? When it comes to refeeds, there are definitely applications to different types of fat sources, okay? And butter is being one of them for this meal. Macros for this meal are going to be as follows. 62 grams of protein, 120 grams of carbs, and 22 grams of fat, and 4 grams of fiber. So I'm going to smash this meal. I'm going to do some editing, and then because I filmed a back workout as well, and then I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be eating before bed. But yeah, this meal's going to go down easy. No digestive issues with this. It's a lot of volume though, so I'm definitely going to go out on a short walk after this meal just to get food moving a little bit and to get my body just out of a lethargic state after such a high carb meal, but also high volume meal as well. So this is what we got. All right, so last meal of the night here to finish it up. It is currently 1 a.m. on the dot. Yeah, it's been about 2.5 hours since my last meal. I want to have a good amount of time between my last meal and this meal. This one's going to go down pretty freaking easy, but I didn't want to eat those 2 meals so close together and then go right to bed and then wake up with just like poor digestion. So I was getting some work done, doing some editing some hostile videos, but I've been getting super freaking hot on these refeed days, making sure to keep up with my fluids. Gonna be touching around 2 gallons today of water intake, which is not bad at all. It's on these refeeds, like, man, it's a lot of food, and with a lot of food, need a lot of fluids to partition those nutrients. Yeah, I've also been changing shirts quite often today because it's warmer in Milwaukee. I've been sweating like crazy, and when I was working for the past 2.5 hours, I was just standing there shirtless because I was like, oh my god, why do I keep sweating? But yeah, so this is going to be the full day of eating, you guys. This is my refeed day at 6 weeks out from my regional show to qualify me for nationals. And then the total calories and macro for today's refeed: 285 protein, 650 carbs, and 95 fat. So final meal right now is going to be a little bit different than my original meal 5, which is originally 168 grams of 93.7 turkey, 400 grams of rice, 60 grams of spinach, 20 grams of honey, and then 20 grams of butter. But that was so much volume, and I was like, dude, I don't want to have that much volume going to bed. So I swapped the calories out to be exactly what is going to be in this meal. So this meal, we have, I still have the 93.7 turkey. I just smashed that. But now to replace the butter and to replace the rice and replace the honey. Oh, well, I have the honey in here, but I have 135 grams of cream of rice. This is the pumpkin spice flavor of the Flavor Gang cream of rice. Freaking awesome flavor. And then 20 grams of honey and then 40 grams of peanut butter. So that is the macros for the day. The macros are 285 protein, 650 carb, 95 fat. So super excited to wake up tomorrow to see how full I am, if I'm going to go back down to my baseline or if I'm going to run another refeed. Honestly, would prefer more food for a refeed tomorrow, but I wouldn't mind going back down to my baseline either, just because I kind of like having more of a tighter stomach and not really having so much food in me. But you know, that's not going to be there very long. You know, I prep is the food's going to keep diminishing on prep, but I'm fine with that. I love it, embracing the process. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's what I'm eating right now. 4,600 calorie refeed 6 weeks out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. More videos coming to you guys soon of my baseline days and maybe some day in the life stuff as well. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.